All right, so I'm running a little late on tarot readings here because I've been a little busy, but I was requested to do a tarot reading on Ethan Klein and his H3 podcast. So I actually asked a few questions here, so it's going to be kind of a long reading. The first question I asked was what's going on between Ethan and Hila's relationship. Then I asked what's going on with Ethan Klein and his H3 crew. Then I asked if the podcast would be coming to an end. And then we have the end deck card. So something's definitely going on between Ethan and Hila. I just want to say that right now. And something interesting that I picked up here is that the Empress and the Emperor represent Ethan and Hila. And the strange thing is that they're both reversed in both questions that I asked. So there's something going on here that we need to dive into. And as usual, I'm going to give you the meaning of each card so that you guys can interpret it with me. I already know what it's telling me, but I like to give you the exact meaning so that you can then come up with your own conclusion and talk to me about what you picked up as opposed to what I picked up. So if for whatever reason you disagree and you feel like you determined it to be like different with all the facts and you have a different theory, please let me know. I really want to hear it. So, okay, first question was about Ethan and Hila's relationship. All reversed. There's something going on here. So, Four of Swords reversed is what we'll start with. Okay, so when the Four of Swords reverses, the timeout message is enforced. So you may have to take time away from work or other responsibilities due to influences out of your control. Unfortunately, there's little you can do to alter the situation, so you must surrender to events. This is a phase, and the message is to find peace. Use the time positively. You may need to rethink your working arrangements or come to terms with changes in a relationship, particularly if you live apart from a partner or potential love. I don't like the emergence of this card because it typically means like a timeout. But notice it's referencing work, but it could be a timeout in the relationship also. I don't know, you guys. I wonder if work is getting in the way of the relationship somehow. But let's keep going. The world reversed. Okay. When reversed, the world shows you are ready to move on, but feel blocked or don't feel you are deserving of success. It can also show hanging on to one ambition that eludes you. And if so, it's time to redefine what you want and adjust your expectations, as you may be clinging onto a dream to the exclusion of all else. Alternatively, you may feel eclipsed by another shining light. Overall, however, the negative here are minor, and you will get what you deserve. It may just take a little longer to become obvious. In the meantime, keep the faith. This definitely seems work-related. I think Hila may be ready to move on completely from the podcast if she hasn't already. And I think she may want Ethan to potentially move on too. Let's see. The moon reversed. Okay. When the moon is reversed, you may avoid difficult emotions and confrontations, so your needs are not expressed or recognized. A trauma is ignored again rather than explored, so the moon reverse can show you going back to old ways of coping with the past. The card can also show you feeling stuck in an old emotional pattern that keeps rising until you give it attention. Somebody struggling. I really think this is Hila. I wonder if she has something she wants to confront Ethan about, but what's the word? She doesn't like to rock the boat too much. Which I've kind of noticed. She never tries to make a big deal about things, even when they're big deals. She tries to make it like it's not a big deal. Okay, the Empress first. When reversed, the Emperor shows financial issues and domestic strife. This may take the form of a controlling and disruptive influence at home. She can also show a creative block in your projects and someone who is needy and takes too much from you. The result of these challenges and demands is stressful, and there may be an impact on fertility if this is an issue for you now. Literally in terms of conceiving a child, or figuratively in terms of finding the time and peace of mind to grow an idea. So, what I'm getting here, just off these first cards, is that Ela no longer wants anything really to do with the podcast. I don't think she wants Ethan as involved as he is. I think she thinks it takes up too much of his time. I think she wants to focus on other things like her clothing business, or possibly even a new idea that she has, and also motherhood and potentially having another baby. But she sees this business venture of Ethan's, like the podcast and everything. I think she thinks it's run its course and that it's time to come to an end. But I don't think she'll say that. Or if she is, she's just hinting at it. It's saying she's like not outright telling him. So let's do Ethan and the crew. It's funny because the Emperor and the Empress were both reversed, which means they're both unhappy in some way. And they're both being seen in negative lights by other people. Okay, so the Emperor reversed. When reversed, the Emperor is power-hungry and excessive in his demands and represents the negative traits associated with traditional masculinity, such as being domineering, controlling, and even cruel. Greed is another aspect of the Emperor reversed. Whereas the upright Emperor knows his boundaries, the reversed Emperor does not know where to draw the line, and may use excessive force or persuasion to get what he wants. This card therefore shows issues with authority figures and other potentially domineering individuals who are run by their egos. So when this talks about aggression and masculinity, it doesn't mean that Ethan's like a tyrant stomping around the H3 podcast. It basically means that he has no... I don't know if it means he has no boundaries, but he doesn't know where they are. So he'll cross over a bunch of lines and he doesn't think twice about it. And I think it might be upsetting the other people more than they're letting on. A big message here is that Ethan really needs to consider his actions before acting, because he's coming off as careless and selfish and not someone who people want to work around. They worry. They worry about the work environment, basically. Okay, 10 of Cups reversed. When reversed, the 10 of Cups retains much of its positive vibe, but with some irritating undercurrents and changes in friendships and family bonds. A family issue may need to be addressed as your routine is disrupted, or you sense discord in some relationships. Also, you may feel that you're not getting an entitlement from respect from different generations of the family to enjoying enough time with children. Your plans to bring friends and family together may falter due to miscommunication. Equally, the need to keep up appearances prevents authentic conversations and understanding. Friends may also prove to be troublesome under the influence of the reverse 10 of Cups, and as a result, one or two confidants step back from your circle or introduce you to a new friend of theirs with whom you don't feel comfortable, which upsets your usually happy dynamic. However, other people you prefer will soon come into your orbit to take their place. Do bear in mind, however, that these are temporary glitches rather than major challenges, and that the reverse 10 of Cups overriding meaning is still positive. So basically, this is kind of what I was saying about boundaries. The crew and the family are not meshing for a couple of reasons. So it's like Ethan views the crew as his family, okay? There's an issue here, though, with him being a little bit not like delusional, but a little oblivious. Like, he's still their boss at the end of the day, and they're very aware of that. So it's like he kind of just treats them like friends and family, but he has a power dynamic over them that they're very aware of, but he kind of pretends doesn't exist. That's why a lot of boundaries are crossed too, and why they feel uncomfortable. Like, it talks about a couple of them taking a step back. So I wonder if a couple of them will end up leaving. Like leaving the podcast, I mean. But they're still friends. It's just there's like issues here. Because they all view each other. They do view each other as family. But the like work environment is getting in the way of the relationships because it's not a professional or proper work environment. Like I said, they kind of think that Ethan is a little egocentric and ego-driven and a little like careless with the way he behaves. Okay, the Chariot, which is actually the Cancer card, and Ethan is a Cancer. And just ignore the phone for a minute. Okay, so, and the Chariot's upright too, which is about like a journey and like moving on. So, okay, let's see. The upright Chariot signifies success and a major departure. This is a time for determination and focus as you travel in a new direction. A decision is made and now you can begin to experience real progress in your affairs. Ready to take control and navigate your path, you are poised to learn as your horizons rapidly expand. Just as the charioteer has his wand to drive him onward, you will need willpower to fuel your desires. The chariot can indicate a move or an important journey, and on a mundane level, it shows you driving a car on your travels or getting a new vehicle. So home, travel away from home is the focus now, rather than on extending or improving your home. You may also welcome travelers from other states or countries. Any disagreement with those you live with will be quickly overcome. Relationship progresses at a pace. If the cards around the chariot show endings, you may be moving on alone, but this is your rightful path. Swift progress in business affairs. The opportunity coming your way will be challenging and exciting. Financially, you are on the road to success. This is interesting because Ila's cards talked about wanting a new venture, and I think Ethan's going to get a new venture here. And it's not the H3 podcast. I think he might be moving on soon, you guys. I think he really will be moving on. Hard to believe, but let's do King of Pentacles reverse, though, because I'm really worried about that card. When reversed, the king is greedy and untrustworthy, so double check all financial agreements to ensure that there are no hidden catches. Debt is an interpretation of the reverse king, so turn the spotlight on your finances now to limit the damage of overspending. As a person, the reverse king is corrupt and may be involved in fraud or gambling. He is determined to win at any cost. Okay. I think what happens here is Ethan's new path involves another guy, and he's not as genuine as Ethan thinks he is, but it's going to be okay because Ethan's going to come out successful. But whoever this second business partner is it's not a good move because he's going to be successful and venture off. He's going to win in spite of all of this. But there's someone untrustworthy in his circle. It may be a new person. It may not even be an old person. But whoever he's about to work with next, and he's going to work with someone next, it's not a good guy. And again, that'll come out. So I think that's why Ethan will be successful in the long run, because it'll come out that Ethan was not the bad one in the situation. But it does look like he's departing from the podcast. Okay, now here's when I actually asked if he would depart from the podcast. We actually got a yes card, the Two of Wands upright. But let's go into the negatives here because we got a bunch of reversed. So Queen of Wands reversed. You may feel controlled when the Queen of Wands reverses due to others' pointless interference. There is a great need for organization but disorder rules. This may be because you or someone close has taken on too much and cannot admit it. Consider if this is a pattern, a way of avoiding being who you are due to fear of rejection. As a person, the reverse Queen of Wands breaks promises. She can be envious and does not want anyone around her to shine more brightly. Who is this woman in his life that... So there's a woman in his life, but I don't think it's Ela, though. I don't think it's Ela. But there's a woman here who's going to cause trouble, too. That's so weird. Someone who's going to break a promise to him, who's envious and wants to shine brighter than him. I can't think of anyone significant other than Trisha, but I don't think that's Trisha, to be honest. I guess we'll see who it is, but because it'll come out. It can't be Ela, because Ela has never cared about Ethan shining brighter than her. Like, wasn't she like his number one fan? Okay, Three of Wands first. When reversed, the Three of Wands shows communication problems, plans are delayed, and it may be difficult to make progress in your projects. Relationships can suffer under this influence as you find it hard to express yourself and understand what others are saying. Misunderstandings may make you feel needlessly isolated. If this applies to you, resist the frustration that this influence brings and go with a slower pace for a while. Overall, however, these are minor negatives. This is still a card of good fortune, even when reversed. So don't let glitches become a distraction. You can still succeed. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Ethan is on a road to success. It doesn't really matter all these things that are going to happen to him, which, like I said, in the relationship, it's not good right now, but I think it's work related. And then his work relationship is also not good right now. And the guy that he's going to be with and this girl, whoever this is, it's all minor overall because Ethan's going to find success. It's just, that's his paved path. But it looks like plans are delayed a little bit and progress in the projects because of all the relationships that are suffering right now. I also wonder if the crew will move on with him to this new project or if only some will. And you know how it said take a step back? I wonder if some just won't come with him to the new project. Okay, let's do temperance reversed. The Sagittarius, that's Ela, or could represent Ela. Temperance reverse shows imbalance and unfairness in relationships and problems with money. What you pour into your relationship and work isn't rewarded. This card can also show you struggling with change and the past dominating your present and future. In this position, difficult old memories can resurface and you feel held back. Try to look at what you need now in the present. You guys, this whole reading has been about how he has problems with his relationship and work right now. He doesn't feel like it's rewarding right now. It will be in the future, but I think he's stuck in a dead end in this podcast right now. And until he moves on, he will not get the success that is coming to him. He needs to move on for it to happen. It's not going to happen in this podcast. But I think he's struggling with admitting that. Like, I think he's struggling to move on because he's really attached to it. And he's been with it for so long. But it's just not sustainable. He's at a different place in life, and honestly, so is everyone else. Last card, Five of Cups reversed. This is the end of deck card, so let's just see what overall the meaning was. Okay. The Five of Cups, along with Major Arcana card, the Devil, are the only two cards in the tarot deck whose reverse interpretations are more positive than their upright meanings. The Five of Reverse reveals you have already experienced the lowest point in a downward cycle, and as a result are close to recovery, finally letting go of painful past memories. Ready to pick up the pieces, you will be stronger than you were before, able to face reality and move forward. An additional meaning of the card is meeting up with old friends and, socially speaking, coming back to life. So this is what I said. Once Ethan moves on, you guys, he's going to find a new sense of success. It's coming to him, but he needs to move on. He needs to stop letting himself be stuck. He has to go forward. This is, honestly, it's his destiny to move on from this. It's what Ela wants. It's what he doesn't know that he wants yet, but he will know soon. And it's going to be best for his wife, his friendships, his coworkers, and himself. He needs to do it, and it will happen. It will be ending, and it will be good.